There's my computer letting me know that the session has started. Welcome everyone to another Goldmind project event. This one is going to be very special. We're deviating from our normal presentation theme by just trying to stay in line with all that's happening in the world right now. We are really trying to be help in any way, shape, or form for our member base. And right now, I think everyone can say that they are experiencing at least some shape or form of stress because of COVID. If not COVID, the transition of careers and alone is already stressful enough. So this has just been the cherry on top of a crazy year for most of you, I imagine. So Emma, and for the rest of you, if you don't know, the Goldmind Project, essentially the short of it is we're trying to provide an environment for professionals to help professionals find new opportunities or help them with their transition from one career to another, whether it's in the same industry or finding a new industry. Essentially just whatever comes with that transition, we want to be there to create an environment to get people helping each other here in Calgary. With the platform being now online, it's a little bit more difficult to get networking sessions, but we try our best. But today in particular, thank you, Emma, for coming out. So everyone, if you read the bio, I'll let you introduce yourself as well, but Emma is a good friend of mine from Bragg Creek. She works with a whole bunch of wonderful, wonderful people in Yoga of the Heart. That's what it's called in Bragg Creek, and has, is it 14 years of teaching experience?
10.
10, okay. 10 years of teaching experience, but a lifetime of understanding of how to deal with stress. So she'll be here to guide us today through what I think is something that we really lack here in Calgary. Is just, I feel like it's not as common for people to sit down and learn about meditation. It seems to be like a niche group that has tapped into that. And I really feel that this is something very valuable for everyone, not just people going through a transition, through all stresses of life. This is something that can be very, very useful. And it actually works out, this digital platform, that we can do it from the comfort of your own home. You can turn off your video, turn off your audio. You're a fly on the wall, just learning today how to deal with stress in a different way. I guess I didn't even introduce myself or Andrew. Andrew here, Vink, he is the president of the Goldmind Project. He will be recording this session and we'll put it up on YouTube just for anyone who found it really valuable and wants to revisit it at a later date. So if you don't want to be seen, just make sure you click that button to get your video off. And I am Marika, or Mickey Gibson. I am the president, or the director of Green Projects. I guess that's my title here. It's been a while. I'm still summer brain. The director of Green Projects here at the Goldmind, and I try and put on as many events that have to do with transitioning into renewable energy or sustainable development. So this one's a little bit different, but I'm excited. So I will let you take it away from here. The plan is to go until about 11:15. You know, sometimes just for scheduling purposes, let everyone know we sometimes go a little bit past that, and hopefully we'll try and keep it on track though. Right.
Okay, thank you, Nikki, and nice to meet you, Andrew, and everyone that's come on to the Zoom platform this morning. I thought, you know, when Mickey sent me the link for Goldmind Project, wow, another amazing group that was not in my awareness previously. So I'm really excited to be here this morning and offer you some of the technology of meditation and mindfulness, and share with you some of the science of what's happening, why we would choose to do that, the benefits. And myself, my name's Emma Berry, and I'm living out here in Bragg Creek. Mickey is my, I know her from town and from the Heart, and you can find me mostly at the Heart of Bragg Creek. And if after you have any, you can always find me there, and it's just a wonderful place to visit in Bragg Creek. There's a cafe and yoga space. So, just come on and say hi. It's a really beautiful place to enjoy Bragg Creek and meet some nice people. So I am a yoga and meditation guide because of the impact that these technologies have had on my own life. And I would say primarily in terms of managing anxiety and understanding myself and my emotional life in a neutral way, to have a container or a way of experiencing the really powerful highs and lows of life that allowed me to step back and observe that journey without getting so caught up, and to learn about my mind, not intellectual studying, not knowledge-based learning, but the actual observation of the mind. And that's what meditation is. It's a gentle and compassionate journey of understanding the self. So I'm here in my home space this morning, and the cats might wander in and out. So anyway, I'm just really happy to share these this wisdom, these teachings that have affected me so profoundly. And in 10 years of sharing this way of observing the self with loving present moment awareness, I've seen so many others benefit greatly. And I'm just really happy to be here to share it. And if you have any questions later, and please just find me, and you find a meditation guide that you resonate with, and check out the apps, whatever, just part of your journey. If it resonates with you, then please dig a little deeper. All right. So I thought, because part of what I'd like to share with you is that meditation isn't a big mystery, or mindfulness. And I think it would be wonderful if we just jumped right in right now, without any teaching, without any preamble to what you should be doing. And let's just start the program today with a 5-minute meditation, and then we'll pop out. I'll give you some information about the science and of meditation and the benefits, and then we'll jump back in and do a longer exercise. All right. So first of all, I'd like you to notice how you're sitting right now. Yeah, I even saw that, right? So how is your spine? The cerebral spinal fluid wants to flow up and down the spine for your mind to be at its optimum. So slouching, even crossing the last 5 minutes, afterwards go back to what's comfortable for you if it's not. But put your both feet flat on the floor. Yeah. I'm out here in Bragg Creek, and I just got a little notification that my internet was unstable. So please be patient if I pop in and out. I'm pretty sure I'll come back to you. So your feet are flat on the floor. You've noticed that your spine is erect. Now I'd like you to relax your shoulders away from the bottoms of your ears. I'd like you to close your eyes. And if closing your eyes is disorienting to you or uncomfortable for you, then just have a heavy gaze. Allow your eyelids to be heavy, your eyes almost close, and just gaze down towards your lap. The meditation is a journey to the inner realm. So for the next few minutes, we're going to let go of any distractions, whether they be sounds, thoughts, challenges, other people in our sphere, our immediate environment. And we're just going to drop in to the inner realm. And we're just going to observe with loving awareness. So it's a softness. One of the main things with meditation is it's not another struggle. Please, please. It's not another thing to get good at. Softly closing the eyes, and let's just begin to notice the rise and fall of the breath. Nothing else. Just take all of your attention and place it on the rise and fall of the breath. Notice yourself breathing in, and notice yourself breathing out. Notice that as you take your next in breath, your ribs expand and move away from each other, both your front and back ribs. So imagine, if you will, with every in breath that your whole being, your whole body, all 70 trillion cells are having this little moment of expansion. And then as you breathe out, there's a very different quality. There's a relaxing, a letting go. So breathing in through the nose, feeling a sense of expansion. The heart lifts a little bit. Breathing out through the nose. The shoulders soften away from the ears a little bit more. And you sink into the support of your chair, into the support of the earth beneath your feet. And then as you just simply take your awareness to the rise and fall of the breath, this is the natural mantra, a mind tool to take your awareness away from the distractions that cause you to be anxious. Observing the rise and fall of the breath is the core of all meditation and movement meditation yoga. Inhaling and exhaling. Long, slow, deep, and smooth breaths in and out through the nose. As your mind is focusing its attention on the breath, possibly it naturally begins to settle. Let's finish our little arrival, right? We're arriving into the experience together. We're arriving into the present moment. Meditation acknowledges that we have a body, a mind, an emotional body. And in order for us to be at the peak of our potential, all of those aspects of the self need to be entrained in rhythm with each other. So let's breathe together 3 times to end our little meditation. Let's breathe in very deeply through the nose. And exhale, open the mouth, sigh, let it go. Let the jaw be heavy. Again, inhale through the nose deeply. Open the mouth, release the jaw, make a sigh. Audible sigh. Last time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, open the mouth to sigh. Let it go. Next, inhale breath. Softly open the eyes. Okay? I just wanted to jump right in and get us into the present moment, which is meditation. And I really want to emphasize today what I mentioned briefly in the meditation, and that meditation is not a competition with yourself. And there's a tendency in the West to think about meditation as being the subjugation of thinking, like the pushing away of thoughts. And what meditation actually is, the calming of the body through the mantra of the breath, the observation of the breath, and the choice not to engage with thoughts as they arise. So there's a very different feeling to pushing away thinking or observing the thoughts as they arise and fall and choosing not to engage with them. Do you see the difference? There's nothing to get good at. There's no win or lose or pass or fail in the practice of meditation. There's only the question, does it serve myself to be present, or does it serve myself to be distracted? And sometimes it's absolutely wonderful to be distracted. But are we making that choice consciously? Or are we allowing, in yoga and meditation, we call it the monkey mind, when the mind just churning over the same set of thoughts. Often they're regressive thoughts that don't serve us. Often they're judgmental thoughts, judgmental against a situation, a human being, or most importantly, the self, right? Often they're conditioned thoughts from our family, from our schooling, from our culture. And some of those are great, but maybe not all of them. A lot of them are subconscious. They're not in our conscious awareness. They just churning. So this is the practice, the ongoing practice of observing the mind and its churnings, right? And we do it with a lightness, not a seriousness, not a I'm going to fix myself or fix my mind or banish my ego. Isn't that interesting that I tend to have these thoughts over and over again? And so what meditation can do is free the mind for a period of time to be spacious and open. And that's actually when insight happens. A new thought doesn't happen by using the intellect and making lots of lists and checking off things. And that's an amazing part of being human being, our intellect. But meditation is more interested in insight and wisdom behind the intellect. So we're training ourselves to observe the mind thinking. So just like we breathe in, the breath is just a kind of a miracle, if you will, of life. We don't really understand the complexity of the miraculous nature of being conscious, embodied consciousness. But the breath comes in and then the breath goes out. And it's the same as thoughts. They arise. From where? That's not the point. We're not asking that question, but they do arise. And then, just like the out breath, a thought dissipates. Thoughts come in and they dissipate. Meditation is interested in the fact that 90% or more of these thoughts, how to choose the state that we're in. So even if the world
Just give her a couple seconds to come back here. Bragg Creek. I'm just going to message her. She'll probably just have to pop right back on. We're really practicing our patience here, aren't we? I don't know about you guys, but I have to admit, this is something that you kind of have to hear over and over again, don't you? You know, we all can say it a million times, but until we really sit down and focus on breath or focus on not judging ourselves, it seems like it should be something that's innate, but it's not. And so I don't know about you, but Emma is just, even in this last 20 minutes, it's really nice to sit back and forget about transition, forget about COVID for 2 minutes. And something that I hope she brings up, I don't know if she will, is that this is something that you can do even while walking down the street. I know lots of people will practice this on their way to work or you know, on the bus, walking around town. There is a thing called, I think it's active meditation, where really you're still up and at 'em and doing things, but you're focusing on your breath. You're not focusing on the distractions around you. You're kind of in a gaze. Lots of people do this while running. She's just saying she's trying to get back on here. Let me see. I'll just let try. Yeah, so you can do it while running or going for a walk, walking the dog. These are all times that, you know, you would never really think they're just another chore or just another thing to do during the day, but you can really use that time to get into that mood, you know, let go of everything that's happening, and really just focus on breathing, which is, it sounds easy. It takes practice, that's for sure. She's gonna keep trying here, but oh, there she is. Perfect. That was perfect timing. You're still on mute though. Just coming on quick. Emma, if you can hear me, you're still on mute. And we've had a few other people join, so yes, welcome. Maybe she's still a little. Man, these are the challenges with COVID and technology. Hey, we're all in different parts of the province, and it might be a little cloudy in Bragg Creek at the moment. Oh, is she gone again? Okay. I'm sorry, everyone. This is definitely not a plan here. Okay, I'll just see. It was working. If anyone wants to, do you want to share a bit about what you're thinking so far? How did you feel for that first 5 minute, that 5 minute session? Do you think that you could do something like this, or did you find it, you know, you weren't able to get into it? You can unmute your mic, I think, up at the top right corner. No one? Okay. Is this a first time for everyone? Oh, okay, here we go. It was simple, and I always feel so good when I do it. I don't know why I don't make a point of doing it every day. I completely agree. I kind of pinch myself all the time going, why am I stressed over nothing? I should have meditated today at some point, because it's so easy to do. Emma, are you back?
Okay,
There you
I'm
are.
back. And my husband took a break from his home office and gave me his big booster box thing. So hopefully it's just the country Wi-Fi here. I'm sorry, everyone.
No worries, no worries. I just asked the question about how everyone felt about that 5 minutes. Were they able to really get into it? I don't know if you can open your chat, but we have a couple responses so far, just saying that it's so simple, it's so good, feels so good when I do it, and I don't know why I don't make a point of doing it every day. And then Evelyn said, taming the monkey mind. Love that analogy. Me too.
Okay.
Without further ado, I'll let you continue.
Okay, well, hopefully with this magic box booster thing, I can stay on consistently, guys. Yeah, so really, it's for me this primary idea that we're getting curious about the mind. We're not adding one more thing into our life that we're struggling to do better. It really bothers me when I hear feedback like, oh, I can't meditate, or I'm not good at it. It's a practice just like anything else, and we're learning. Most of us in the Western world haven't been trained to observe the mind. So why would be really good at it starting off? You know, we have to give it a chance and allow ourselves a little bit of compassion on the journey. So what we're doing when we start to breathe deeply in and out through the nose, if in Western cultures especially, there's a lot of shallow breathing that happens up in the upper chest, which actually releases cortisol and adrenaline into the system and takes the body into the sympathetic nervous system. We have the vagus nerve, which is a massive nerve it touches almost all of the organs from the brain down to the sacrum, and it regulates the nervous system. And in meditation and conscious breath work, we're looking to increase vagal tone. So in other words, stimulate the vagus nerve in a way that takes us out of flight, fight, and fear, which is the sympathetic nervous system, and towards the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and nurture and digest way of being in the physical body. So these are states that if we're unconscious of breathing and meditation techniques, we're just entering and exiting on automatic pilot. So with the wisdom of the conscious breathing, even if you weren't meditating per se, doing anything with observing the mind, but even when we're breathing long, slow, deep, and sweet breaths in and out through the nose, we're taking the body out of the flight, fight, freeze, or fear response, and we're calming the mind. So in flight, fight, which is sympathetic nervous system, we're releasing cortisol and adrenaline into the body, which over time really damage the body if that stuff's getting released all the time, right? And so the body doesn't know any difference if you're anxious about being in traffic or anxious about being in a meeting or an interview. It just knows that if you're breathing shallowly and have some other things going on and the mind is racing, if you're in that mode, you're releasing cortisone and adrenaline, and you're ramping up all of the ways of being that are blocking you. So no one can tell how you're breathing. You could be in a meeting, you could be at a family gathering, you could be in the grocery store by yourself in traffic. It doesn't have to be on a mat or in a comfy chair at home. Whenever you notice that your heart is racing, your mind is racing, you feel anxious, tight through the chest, your gut is tight, breathe. Breathe with conscious awareness, long and deep through the nose. That is chemistry, my friends. It's not woo-woo yoga stuff. The body will go back to the parasympathetic nervous system and begin to release dopamine, melatonin, and serotonin when the vagal tone increases and the pineal gland and the pituitary gland indicate, these are master glands in the body, and they will indicate to the other glands to produce these neurotransmitters and hormones that calm us and soothe us. And once again, just like there's nothing wrong with the sympathetic nervous system. We need that action, energy, to manifest, to go after something, to take thought into action and go after it. But if we're unconsciously in that mode of being all the time, the drain on our body, our mental body, our emotional body is huge, and we will get ill. The body isn't meant to be in these heightened states of anxiety for long purposes. So if we don't use techniques to consciously notice when the heart is beating, when the breath is short and sharp and shallow, we will get sick, right? Being in that sympathetic nervous system more than we need to be weakens the immune system. So we want a super strong immune system. We want a nice tall spine where the cerebral spinal fluid can flow uninhibited, right? So if you're interested in meditation and mindfulness after this, I encourage you to look up with those words and then the science of. There's so much out for you, and some of the science is really getting had a long time to accumulate now, the statistical science and things like that are scientifically proven to be benefits from conscious breathing and calming the mind and the nervous system are reduced anxiety, uh, uh, increased sense of overall well-being. Like, who doesn't want that? Right? Insomnia is a big one that comes up all the time, consistently through all of these studies, and depression. Even, and some of these may be affected, addiction. You may find help with your journey through addiction, right? So what we're doing is creating the context where we empower ourselves to be calm regardless of the external circumstances. We make a conscious choice to create the sense of peace and ease ourselves, and we don't give that power away to anyone or any situation. You know, it's an ongoing journey. There's still the roller coaster ride of life, but we're hoping to step back and observe ourselves in a loving way, in a compassionate way, without being stuck in the midst of it so much, you know, really caught up on automatic pilot with all this churning of the mind. And so what we're getting at is that the philosophy part is that our suffering, not our physical pain, but our suffering, our existential suffering as a human being, is caused because of a gap between expectation and reality. So we grasp or desire a certain outcome. And that's not what's happening in truth. And in that space between that desire and that truth is why we suffer. So the practice of mindfulness is designed for us to create a new context where we can observe ourselves, calm ourselves, to notice that we're doing that. So it's really simple, but it's actually challenging in practice. Just observing the breath, quieting the mind. What's challenging is sticking with something. And I find every single time I take 5 minutes, you will feel, I hope, if so many people, hundreds of people over the years, just the benefits are really immediate. Then if you want that to continue, you have to continue practicing. So it's important for me to share with you that it doesn't take a lot to get significant results. in the morning when your mind is calm already, right? After we've slept, we don't tend to have that monkey mind, the churning. We're absolutely in the parasympathetic nervous system, very calm, very relaxed. So eyes open, and then we would have a conscious awareness of being awake. So we're trying to get off of being on automatic pilot and noticing ourselves being conscious in a physical body. Noticing that, oh, I got really wound up just now, having this relating with this human being, or watching the social media, scrolling, seeing all this us versus them stuff. I believe this, you believe that, I'm all wound up about it. And just notice yourself getting anxiety and stress. Well, if you put that down and just sit and breathe with no expectations of any big result, just focus your attention on breathing in and breathing out and choosing not to identify with the thoughts that come up. And this is the practice. It's very, very simple. It can be challenging to continue on your own. So that's where the guide comes in. So it's important to me. I live out in Bragg Creek, and I did so consciously to have a lifestyle that includes being close to nature. And it's my very, very strong, when I really take deeper immersions, take others on experiences that are deeper, it always includes being out in nature. From my perspective, and many of my guides and teachers, every single time we're in nature, we're doubling down on the potential benefits of the practice that we do. So maybe it's looking out at nature, but even in an urban environment, at a park, or just to be out with your plants on your balcony or your backyard, to take your shoes off in the summer and feel the earth beneath your feet, get grounded into the reality of where you are. So I really like to encourage people to, how we have that natural way of meditating in nature, right? The quality of the light coming through the leaves, the song of the birds, the sound of the water. These things naturally take us into a meditative state. So I'm encouraging you to use that to assist you in knowing yourself in a deeper way and choosing to place yourself in a state of calm and ease on purpose. And then finally, the attitude of gratitude in this part of the presentation. I really want to, it's at the core of my practice, and Mickey and I refer at the heart, we practice heart-based yoga. And what that means is that all the mindfulness in the world, all of the awareness of the machinations and the fluctuations of the mind and the tendency of the mind to do this and do that and controlling our emotions, and our nervous system, it's really great. However, if we don't add that layer of connecting with the heart, being grateful even in a situation where the rug has been pulled out from under us. We don't have the career we once had. Our partner has gone. The whole world's going crazy. But if you close your eyes and breathe deeply and go into the space of the heart and start listing to yourself silently or aloud the things that you're grateful for, you will be there for quite some time. That even with your injuries and disease and whatever the challenges of your situation, that you're well, that you have a body that has served you all these years and a mind that's so fascinating, and the integration of the body and mind that's just absolutely mind-blowing. That you have a pet or a friend or a lover or a child to whom you can look into their eyes and connect in a deep and meaningful way. That you can take a sip of clean water and you can eat delicious, healthy food. If we actually drop into the attitude of gratitude, it's another way of bypassing anxiety, bypassing stress, and just feeling good. And so it's not like we're pretending to be like in a fake way. It's like, I understand I have these deep challenges. I understand I suffer and others suffer. And I would wish to alleviate that suffering for myself and on behalf of others. But also in the context of that experience, I'm grateful. Grateful for the life, this moment, this breath, the beauty that surrounds me. Okay, so I'm encouraging you to follow up with whatever thread of meditation and mindfulness, speaks to you, if one of them does. Maybe it's being in nature with mindfulness and meditation, finding a guide or a book, that speaks to that. Maybe it's the science, and you're really curious about the way that breathing changes the chemistry of the brain and the sense of how we feel, like almost instantly, right? Maybe it's loving kindness and a little more compassion toward yourself and toward others. Maybe it's learning how to ease your sense of grasping at an outcome and shrinking that gap between expectation and reality, and learning to simply allow yourself, the situation, another human being to exist in the truth of what it is, and just allow yourself a giant exhale. Just letting go of the need for it to be in a certain way. Allowing yourself to feel peaceful, to be in acceptance of what is. And that has nothing to do with giving up or checking out. In fact, it gives you the spaciousness and the strength and the calm state of mind that you need to do what you need to do, the action steps. All right. So our feet are flat on the earth, if that's possible. The spine is straight, right? You can feel that your sit bones are heavy into your chair. This is one of the main things that we notice. I could say, relax your shoulders probably 10 times in 1 hour. And each one of those times you would have noticed that you can relax them again. So relax the shoulders. Allow your palms to rest on your thighs so that your arms can get heavy. And then feel an engagement through the center of the chest at the heart area, a lifting. And when you feel the heart lifting, you feel a broadening across the collarbones and the shoulders opening away from each other. Begin to notice the breath. Inhale all the way down to the tip of your spine. And then exhale through the nose all the way back up the spine. Softly close the eyes. If closing the eyes is disorienting to you, just almost close your eyes and barely open, and just through this hazy gaze, look down. Inhale, doing nothing. Exhale, doing nothing. Inhale, let's count. Exhale. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, expand, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, soften, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Continue breathing long and deep breaths through the nose. I'd like you to place one of your hands on your abdomen. And as you breathe in and you feel your ribs expand, I'd like you to imagine or draw your breath completely filling both lobes of the lungs, and notice that your stomach expands. And then as you exhale, the navel falls towards the spine and your stomach contracts. This basic breath of meditation, diaphragmatic breathing, belly breathing, you're continuing to breathe as I talk. So the diaphragm muscle is a great big flat muscle that runs underneath the rib cage from the front of the body to the back of the torso. And when we fill the lungs completely, the diaphragm muscle changes shape, causing the belly to balloon. So in meditation, we love a great big soft balloon belly on the in-breath. And then as you breathe out, the body begins to relax, the shoulders soften away from the ears, and the navel draws toward the spine. Inhaling, belly balloons. Exhaling, softening, navel draws towards spine. Inhaling, expanding, exhaling, relaxing. You can relax your hand back onto your lap and just remember that the next time that you feel anxious, you've noticed, you've become conscious of your anxiety, of your stress, that you employ diaphragmatic breathing and observe the self making a transition from the sympathetic fear, flight, fight, or freeze response to the relaxation response. On your next exhale, leave your shoulders nice and soft and relax your left ear over towards your left shoulder. So nothing changes in the shoulders. We're just releasing the head so that the left ear falls towards the left shoulder, getting a nice stretch through the right side of the neck, through the scalene muscles of the neck. Allow particularly the right shoulder to be really heavy here. Continuing with your breathing. Good. On your next in-breath, slowly see if you can slow it down and remain conscious and aware of making the movement of coming up to having your head back to neutral. Good. And then on your next exhale, just gradually drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. The left shoulder stays really heavy, increasing that sense of opening, awakening through the cervical spine, through the outer left side of the cervical spine, the shoulder, the neck. Breathing in and out through the nose, long and deep breaths, allowing the mind to be spacious. And when you notice that thoughts arise, you choose not to make a story or an anecdote or a judgment about that thought. You just watch it dissipate, just like the breath did. On your next in-breath, slowly, maybe it's as slow as, takes as long as the in-breath itself, bring the head back to neutral. And then on the next out-breath, just allow the chin to fall down the center line of the chest. So bowing the head forward. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale, open the mouth and sigh. Take a few breaths here, just observing this present moment awareness of meditation, choosing to be present with the truth of who we are in each moment, without the need to judge or to change or to fix anything. To just give yourself the gift of being present to yourself as you are. Inhaling, ribcage expands, belly balloons. Exhaling, shoulders soften, navel falls towards the spine. Next, inhale breath, lifting the head slowly back to neutral. Good. Just a little chair energy work here, just to stimulate the physical body and get that cerebral spinal fluid really, that's the nectar, to have this beautiful physiology working at its optimum with the mind, to have the emotional body to be aware of it, not to make it be happy when it's not to force ourselves into any fake way of being, but to begin in a loving way to stimulate and serve all of the aspects of ourself for the optimum experience of being alive. So inhale your arms up overhead now, and see if you can reach your fingertips up, but your shoulders aren't really jacking up high. You're still letting your shoulders be heavy here. Good. And then just drop your left arm and reach your right arm over to the left side. Just a little side stretch. Reaching those fingertips as you continue, though, to anchor your right hip or your right butt. It's not lifting off of your chair. So there's a intensity through the right side stretch by pulling your right hip to the chair and drawing your right fingertips to the left. The left shoulder is soft and heavy. Use your inhale breath to come back up. Reach up. Reach the left arm up. And then as you exhale, lower the right arm and reach up and overhead to the right with the left fingertips. Take your awareness, your present moment awareness to the left hip and draw that into the chair as you reach the left fingertips over to the right, awakening through the whole left side of the body. You're continuing with your long and slow and deep breath. And then use the inhale breath to come back up. Reach that right hand back up one more time. And then slow it down. Lower your hands to rest gently onto your upper thighs. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale, open your mouth to sigh. Inhale, lift your shoulders towards your ears and then roll them back. Feel the shoulder blades going down the back body. Inhale, draw them through and up. Exhale, rolling the shoulders with your breath. Inhale, draw them up and back. Exhale, drop them. Rolling the shoulders up and back for the last time. Come to neutral. Let's do the opposite rolling. So we did up and back. Let's do forward and down. Inhale, up the back. Roll the shoulders forward. Inhaling and exhaling, rolling the shoulders forward and back. Close the eyes, or the eyes are almost closed, and just closing our seated meditation practice with a little loving kindness meditation. We'd all really benefit from a little more loving kindness towards ourselves and towards others. So the eyes are closed or almost closed. The shoulders, every out breath you take, maybe just an increment, maybe it's not even physically noticeable, but they soften a little bit more away from the bottoms of the ears. At the same time, the heart is lifting and radiating, though. There's no slumping when the shoulders soften. The collarbones are very broad and the front of the shoulders move away from each other. And then close your eyes. Observe the mind, spacious, light, open, uncluttered. And even if it is busy and things are happening, it's not a failure. We would say, isn't that interesting that it's so hard for me to quiet the mind. What is that all about? Isn't that interesting? Dropping into the observer now, to the loving witness of the self. So witness with your eyes closed, yourself sitting there. Right? Maybe you kind of imagine yourself floating off and looking at yourself from the ceiling of the room, the roof of the room you're in. Observe yourself thinking. Observe yourself breathing. And then I'd like for you to imagine that you've opened your eyes, but your eyes remain closed. And in your mind's eye, using your pineal gland, your center of your imagination in the middle of your brain, you imagine opening your eyes and looking at yourself in a mirror. And you gaze into your own eyes. You see yourself looking back at you, and you hold your gaze and you look deeply into the eyes of the self. And silently to yourself, you repeat the words to yourself. I am happy. Gazing into yourself in a mirror with your eyes closed. Sending the message to yourself with your gaze. I am healthy and strong. I am filled with peace and ease. I am loved. And now, with your eyes closed, in your mind's eye, in your imagination, imagine yourself looking at someone you love, someone who's very important to you. They might be physically on the earth still, they might even have made their transition. You look in their eyes. And then beyond this person, you see other beings, other humans that you love, other pets that you love. And then you look up, and beyond them, you see friends, acquaintances, and then a whole neutral people, people that you see in your daily life, in your work, or at the cashier, at the grocery store, people that you make small connections with, but you don't even know their name. You see them. And then beyond them, you see some people that have given you some challenges, the kind of people who trigger you, who know how to push your buttons. And you just, in this calm, neutral way, you notice that they're there. And through the miracle of this imagination that you have, this inner vision that you have, you expand your awareness and you notice all 7 billion human being brothers and sisters. 7 billion brothers and sisters on the planet. all the beautiful and the innocent four-leggeds, horses running, lions, all these four-legged beings that are so beautiful in their wild state. The ones who fly up in the air, eagles, bluebirds, all the ones that swim in the waters, right? All the dolphins and the fish, and all the creepy crawlies, all that life going on down in the soils beneath our feet. And we just imagine we hold this vision of the web of life, this connected web of life, and all these beings. And with our heart and with our gaze, we repeat silently to all of these beings gathered in our gaze, may you be happy. May you be healthy and strong. May you be filled with peace and with ease. May you know that you are loved. And then with your eyes closed, just bring one hand onto your heart and just feel it's just a miracle. Just to be grateful for the miracle of who you are. This embodied consciousness that can have these thoughts and experiences and relationships. What a miracle you are. And then release your hand and open your eyes. And I'd like to thank you very much for your loving attention this morning. And if there's anything I can assist the Goldmind Project with in the future, or if you have any questions, I know Mickey will make it happen so that you can connect with me. And I wish you many blessings on your journey to discover yourself.
Thank you so much, Emma. This was amazing. I don't know about all of you, but I definitely needed that. And I really hope I have your, I guess I don't have your contact information, but maybe I can get your email just in case anyone would like to reach out. If not, Emma is always at the Heart. I see her all the time. If you haven't been, I definitely recommend just popping out for a weekend. Go and grab a delicious treat at the cafe there, because the people that you will find yourself surrounded with are just like Emma. They will bring you to a whole new place and find joy in no matter what situation you're in. So thank you again. I hope that all of you are able to take these practices home with you and practice them on a regular basis. And this helps you, even if it just helps you a little bit through this transition, through COVID, through everything that's going on in the world right now. I just hope that, that it works for you as well. All right, that concludes everything. I don't know, Emma, if you can see in the comments, you've got a lot of thank yous. I'm very grateful, and this is great. We will, for the last question there, this has been recorded, so we will post it online. If you don't see it in the next couple weeks, just reach out to me, but normally we will post it after a week or so. We'll put it on LinkedIn, and it will be a YouTube video.
I just want one quick thing, that there are the Zoom practices at the Heart. So at the Heart of Bragg Creek, if you're, go wherever you are interested, or read, or go an app. But if you did want to experience some more, you can check out the schedule on the Zoom.
That's a great idea. Yeah. Yoga.
The Heart of Bragg Creek.ca.
Perfect. There you go. The heartofbragg.ca. Wonderful. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. We will sign off now, and you can find the recording hopefully in the next week or two. Thank you, Emma. Bye.